Man, we always got to start it off with a
Oh,
good laugh. Happy Saturday, folks.
oh
Thank y'all
man.
for tuning in to another 95 North Sports Machine edition. It's a little pop-up show, man. We got some things on the old noggin over here that we just got to talk about, spill out for y'all folks to enjoy.
Yep.
Joining us as always, or joining me as always, is my right-hand man, or to my left, I should say, Antoine Smitty Smith from the Smitty Sports Machine. Say what's up to the folks, Smitty.
Hey,
Superhero Smitty. I got called out the last time I didn't introduce you and properly introduce you, so that's Superhero Smitty to y'all.
yep. And that's pumpkin pie eater Alberto to y'all
Oh,
too, man.
yeah, that's
But
right. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, he
With that
said
out the way.
he actually told me he had some pumpkin pie the other
Yes,
day.
sir.
So shout out to you, man. But what's up, good
Definitely.
people, man? And
Yes, sir.
before we get started, man, that bookie, do not call me out, bro. Everybody cannot be on time. That's all I got to say. Hey, I'm gonna get on live, man. Just know when I get on live, man, I'm gonna give y'all a run for y'all money, man. But what's going on, good people, man?
Yes, sir.
We just stopped in right quick, man, to give y'all a quick thought on some things. We were, discussing and thinking about with the Falcons, man, what's gonna go on the next 2 weeks, and we're gonna give y'all something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's these three things:
We'll go through them.
the Falcons need, the Falcons want, and the Falcons long term. And them the three things I've been giving y'all all off season. But I'm gonna go a little bit more in depth with this, and my boy Alberto will too. And how we gonna do this? We're gonna give y'all a need, a want, and a long term for anything at number 8, not a quarterback. And then I'm gonna give y'all a need, a want, and a long term for the quarterback position because as y'all seen it, man, Louis Riddick pissed a lot of people off, man. Had going crazy because he wanted the Falcons to take Will Levis, and the fans lost their mind, man. So I mean, we're gonna get into it though, but trust me, y'all gonna enjoy it.
Definitely,
But I got to say what's up to my boy Chesney, man. It's been a minute since he checked me out. He's one of the best fishers in Louisiana, man, and he always supports your boy. He's a big Dallas Cowboys fan, but he always supports an Atlanta Falcon fan. So shout out to my boy Chesney Jones, man.
Got
doing
first
this thing
time
in Louisiana. Spider-Man. Hey, Smitty, this is my first time on the live chat. Welcome, Spider-Man. Appreciate you, my dog.
Definitely, part of the event.
Just tell Mary Jane to bake that pie and we'll be straight. But Miss Angela Myers, let me go through the chat while I'm thinking about it, man.
Yes, sir.
John Brooks, what's up, man? Thank you for always supporting your boy. And y'all go check John Brooks out on YouTube as well, under John Brooks. Kojak, man, Tuckett. What's up? We cooking with fish grease now? Yeah, we almost cooking with fish grease. And we can probably throw some hush puppies in there. Nat Butchie, what's up, man? Tales by G. My boy Henry Tron, who always follows me on Twitter, man. Brewski, as we call him. Charles B. As I said, Chesney, my homegirl Angela Myers, man, what's going on? Tremaine Austin, Colby McElroy, Nicholas Dixon, David Smith, Ray Ellison, Michael Walker, Archangel, Carrie, one of our big followers, Shaka Zulu.
Carrie.
He got on with us live a couple of episodes ago, so thank you. Aaron Dale 82, who always stops in the chat with us right quick.
How's it going?
But man, we got a long list.
Yes,
Jermaine Jonathan, Jay Diaz, Tony Wright, Big Game Sports Buzz. Y'all go check him out on YouTube as well.
Absolutely.
And that would be former Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive tackle, James Canada, man. He's been with me since the beginning, the inception in 2014. My very first, well, not my very first pro athlete interview. Actually, my first pro athlete interview was Michael Jackson, believe it or not. Former Cleveland Browns, Baltimore Ravens wide receiver. Rest in peace to him, man. He gave me great advice. Talked to him about 20 minutes on the phone before the interview started, and he gave me great advice. I took it to heart, and I'm still rolling. So that's all I have to say, man. Oh, Chris J541, Colin Purvis. I can keep going, man. But thank y'all all for tuning in, man. We have 81 people. Man. 81 people on the chat already watching.
That's
So
awesome, man.
Don
Appreciate
Hammy
y'all,
Poe, thank y'all, man. I truly appreciate y'all for always supporting us, man.
Definitely, man.
But as I said, man, we finna give y'all something to think about,
Yep.
like we always do. And one thing about us, man, if y'all haven't noticed, we will say things that people are scared to say.
Facts, man.
And what I mean by that, sometimes you got to think outside the box, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you got to give the people something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
You can't always go with the yes man, and you can't always go with what everybody else is saying. Sometimes you got to go in the left field and give people something else to think about, because what if that something that we talk about end up happening? Then what? Hey, as I told you so. But
That's right.
Alberto, let's kick this thing off right quick,
Man, let's
man.
do so. Let's do so,
We're
man.
gonna talk about the
Falcons.
need, the want,
Yeah.
in the long term. Alberto gonna start it off, man.
Before we get into that, let's bring the folks up to speed a little bit. Falcons have very much spoiled us this offseason, probably one of the better or the best off seasons in recent memory. Early in the week we did acquire Jeff Okudah from the Detroit Lions, and just a few days later, man, news broke that Bud Dupree had signed with the Atlanta Falcons a 1-year deal, $5 million deal. Mostly incentive laden, but hey, listen, man, Bud Dupree comes into the Atlanta Falcons in this rotation that's going to have Zoe Carter, now Arnold Ebiketie, Bud Dupree. So Terry and Arthur, man, just continuing to build this team, man, the way that they envisioned it from the beginning. Tough, competitive, hard-nosed. And hey, man, it's here, man. So quick thoughts on the Bud Dupree signing, Smitty. What do you think about that?
Like I said yesterday, man, it was a value signing. What I mean by that, they might get value, and it's probably a 3 million and 3.5 million, and the rest incentives. So it's not gonna, hurt the Falcons. But what I do love is the top 51 rule. A lot of people don't talk about. It will ensure that the top 51 salaries are paid. So all of the $1 million, the practice squad, the depth signing, all that will not go against the salary cap.
Right.
And this is one of those signings that will not hurt the Falcons. They still will have money to sign in the draft class. Because I got to tell y'all, man, y'all got to think about it. From the first to the third round are the only salaries that are guaranteed. Yep. Anything other than that fall up under the top 51 rules, so they do not count against the cap. So it's going to be interesting to see. But, you add a veteran like a Bud Dupree to what we already have added this offseason. I love it, man. I love it. And like I said, it doesn't ensure that we have to go pass rusher at number 8, but we still could go pass rusher. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't ensure that we have to, because it's a deep position in this draft. And Will McDonald in the second round is pretty enticing. And another guy, BJ Ojulari, is another one.
Oh my God, doesn't get talked about enough, man.
Yeah, I would love to see BJ Ojulari in a Falcons uniform.
Yeah, man. Truth be told, man. So let's open up this little topic that we had brainstorming for y'all, man. The need, the want, the long term, in that order for our Atlanta Falcons. So, Smitty, the need. What can we come up with as for a need? Before the show started, you and I we were talking, and the need for me would be a playmaker on defense. And here's the reason why. The Falcons, although they're building a very stout defense, so to say, on paper it looks very stout, but there's age with that stoutness. You got Calais Campbell that's a little long in the tooth. Grady Jarrett is also up there. David Onyemata. I think we still need to build on this defensive front in order to keep, building pieces around like a would-be 8th pick in the draft. If it's a Tyree Wilson, if it's a Jalen Carter, if it's a Christian Gonzalez, you still need some pillars and some depth pieces to build around. So whomever the call is at 8, got to complement the likes of D'Angelo Malone and Arnold Ebiketie and Troy Anderson, because by right, or even Jesse Bates, still 25 years of age, you know what I mean? So he's still a building piece on this Falcons defense. We don't entirely want to go full on, full in my words, full on offensive arsenal and getting something out of the not normal and just leave the defense hanging and drying. So for me, the need would be a defensive playmaker. What are your thoughts on that, Smitty?
I agree with that. And the reason why I agree with it, just like we're going to talk about during the show, we think about long term. So Hey, Nicholas Dixon, man, thank you,
man.
3:12 a.m. You the man.
Appreciate you, man.
But don't stay up all night watching us because we'll have you having nightmares. But appreciate you, Nicholas Dixon, man. 312 over in Dubai. That's pretty dope. But I agree with that, man. Defensive playmaker is not gonna hurt anybody. As I said with Jalen Carter, you got to think about long term with that position. Ray Jerry is 30, David Onyemata is 30, Caleb Calais Campbell is 36. You look at the edge position. We're young in that position, but another playmaker would not hurt.
Not at all.
I mean, you get D'Angelo Malone, Arnold Ebiketie, Lorenzo Carter, all those guys into one rotation. Hey, if they can collapse the pocket like I know they can with what's going on now, that's something I would love to see. So defensive playmaker makes a lot of sense in that aspect. Talk about somebody lined up opposite of AJ Terrell. We have Jeff Okudah now, at least for this year.
Right.
Long term. What do we have at the cornerback position?
Exactly.
So this is what we mean by the need, the want, and the loan.
Oh boy. Let's move on to the want.
Long term, what are we? So defensive playmaker makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. Let's see. Where we gonna go next?
We're gonna go to that want. What do we want as Atlanta Falcon fans, creators, all the above?
I'll let you start with what you want, because you know what I want.
Yeah. I know that, we could probably set the world ablaze if we say, oh, we want Bijan Robinson. There's alternatives to Bijan Robinson. Can't take away the incredible talent that he is. There's more to him. There's more guys like him in the draft, in my opinion. You got Jahmyr Gibbs, Tajay Spears. His running mate, Roschon Johnson, is another guy. So there's pieces there. And there's also a soon-to-be free agent that we're going to talk about later on in the show that would fit our Atlanta Falcons, but we'll definitely hit on that later. So for me, the want would be, I want the Falcons to do the right thing. Desmond Ridder was named the starting quarterback. So building around Desmond Ridder would be, for me, the ultimate want for the squad, meaning build through the trenches, offensive line, secure that offensive line, give them a true wide receiver number 2, trade back, and acquire more pieces in order to build this depth and this offense the right way in Desmond Ridder's in his eyes and what he can do and all the playmakers that can be brought onto the team. So for me, the want would be trade back, or just acquire the right piece to prolong Desmond Ridder, which would be offensive line.
I can't argue with that at all. My want is Bijan Robinson or the best offensive lineman available. And y'all can go see, I just dropped the video right before we came on about Bijan Robinson, NFL ESPN analyst, staff writer, thinks Bijan Robinson is a perfect pick for the Falcons. And he gives a reason why, and it backs up what I've been saying for the last 2 months. But y'all can go check that out right now on the page. But I agree with everything you said, man. You got to think about the long term, and this is the want is sometimes leads up to the long term.
Right.
And if you want to build this team the right way and you want to build a winner, you got to build around your quarterback. And if you can build around your quarterback, that's a recipe for success. I think they're doing that. So we can add another receiver, offensive lineman, running back, and we can also, add another piece, like you said earlier, on defense. So want leads up to the long term. So you dug into the long term a little bit with the trade back and the setup for the future, nicely with extra picks. Now, I was thinking about the quarterback position when I said the need, the want, and the long term. You started out with Desmond Ridder. I'm going to take it in another direction. And here's why. As I look at analysts such as Louis Riddick, who was a former GM, he knows how to scout talent.
Yeah, he does.
Mina Kimes, one of the Falcons' biggest supporters,
sure
nobody
is.
Talks about.
Right.
Dan Orlovsky, who a lot of people they don't like his takes, but Dan was a quarterback in this league for a long time, and I think he can be a nice offensive coordinator. When they talk about the quarterback position in the Falcons, possibly looking at that leading up to the draft, it got me to thinking, A need, a want, and long term. And I'm gonna start it out with a need. A need is a playmaker. Not saying Desmond Ritter is not a playmaker, but when you think about a playmaker, a guy that can make plays inside the pocket, outside the pocket, extend plays, um, be the quarterback you need him to be in the clutch, be able to hit the passes deep, be able to throw the defenses off once the ball is snapped. And we talk about, looking on safeties, things of that nature. And just being all in, with the offensive line to help them gel to be the leader that they need to be. Playmaker is all of that. Now, they won't. We talk about Lamar Jackson, that fell through. So, with that want, leads back to the need. The playmaker, Lamar Jackson, the want. This is why they're starting to say quarterback as we get closer to the draft because it's a want. Because they want the Falcons to take a quarterback because of the weapons they had. You talk about Drake London, you talk about Kyle Pitts, Jonathan Smith, Tyler Algier. So, where does that leave Desmond Ritter? I don't know. So let's look at long term. Since the need and the want don't seem like they'll come through, then you start thinking long term. Desmond Ritter has 3 more years on his contract. Tyler Haneke only signed a 2-year deal, and possible 1-1 depending on how he plays out this year. So then you look at a guy like Will Levis, or C.J. Stroud, or Bryce Young, a Hendon Hooker, or someone, one of the top quarterbacks in this draft. And what does that lead the Falcons long term? It leaves them in, kind of a interesting situation because could this be the Falcons going to ride with Desmond Ritter at least for 2 more years? And be looking at Arch Manning in about 3 years to see where they can get up and move up in the draft because they've done it before. When Arthur Blank bought this team, y'all know what happened. He brought more advertising. He brought a will to win. What was his very first move when he bought the Atlanta Falcons? Michael Vick. So that is a long-term plan at quarterback. So they need a playmaker. They was a Lamar Jackson and a Deshaun Watson. Neither of those came through. So long-term, they're going to look at a quarterback. And this is why. If they take a quarterback in this draft, I would not be surprised.
Man.
And y'all won't be surprised either because I just gave y'all the reason why, if they do. Quarterback is a need in this league, and you have to have a leader. Not saying Desmond Ritter is not a leader. Not saying Tyler Haneke is not a leader. But 5 years is long term. 2 and 3 years is short term.
Yeah.
So just think about that.
Yeah. I mean, those are some great things to say, man. But for me personally, Smitty, it's one of those things, man. If we go quarterback, I might just throw a piece of furniture in this in this man cave here, man. I just feel like Arthur and Terry have done such an incredible job this offseason, bringing in key free agents, filling in spots and depth, acquiring much needed talent in certain areas of this football team. If quarterback was one of them, then that Lamar Cloud would be gone because he would be here if that was the case. I just feel like if you do that in the draft, it just throws this offseason and what we've been building out of whack. I don't feel like any one of those top 3 quarterbacks are plug and play are going to come in and do a much better job than what Desmond Ritter could potentially do with the right pieces added to his arsenal. So quarterback for me, man, it'd be a hard no, man, based off of those things, man. I just would like to see the Falcons continue building on what we already have. So that's, another wide receiver, obviously, another lineman to shore up, the trenches. Hey, a running back in the second or third round, also, it could be a possibility. I just can't see the Atlanta Falcons, mortgaging up anything to trade up for one of those guys. You know what I mean? Like you mentioned, Tyler Heineke's here. Desmond Ridder's here for that short term, so to say, another 3 years and stuff like that. But you've already came out from day one. The minute that the legal tampering period became available, Atlanta came out and said, we are not in the running for Lamar Jackson. You kind of fully invested the next, couple years to Desmond Ridder. Now it's up to you to build right around him to help him succeed. I just think Atlanta needs to stay on that, just on that trajectory for the path to success, man.
And I agree with that 100%. The reason why I brought up the conversation was the way the analysts are thinking. They don't have a trust in Ridder or Heineke. And they've watched what Arthur Blank has done the last 2 years is trying to pursue a superstar quarterback. So they're thinking, why not draft a superstar quarterback to see can they take this team to the next level? And like you said, we spent the money built around Ridder. So why do that? Mm-hmm. But I also got – go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you a question. I was like, do you feel like if we do go quarterback in this draft, is it more Arthur Blank driven than it is a Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith like? Is it overruled by say Arthur Blank saying, hey, we have to take a quarterback this year?
That's a damn good question, Berto. I think it'll be a little bit more Arthur Blank driven, because as I look at Arthur Smith and what he likes to do, man, he likes to run the football. Right. So if I'm thinking like what I saw the first 2 years, first year, Arthur Smith loves his tight ends. He goes out and gets Kyle Pitts, because let's be real, you run 2 and 3 tight end sets. Either he's going to run the ball or he's going to do, rollouts or things of that nature. So he go gets his tight end the first year here. Next year, he needs a number 1 receiver. They go get Drake London.
Right.
Last year, Drake London, late in that draft, he loves to run the football, so he go get some running back. And get what kind of running back he gets. A power runner.
Yeah.
But running is still his forte. This year, this is why I like Bijan Robinson. Playmaker, home run hitter. He had that in Derrick Henry in Tennessee. He doesn't have that in Atlanta. So this year he go gets his home run hitter. And like I said, with running the football, you got to have a strong offensive line. So those two needs probably is the way I would swing the first 2 picks, simply because of what he's added on the defensive line and the secondary. Throughout this offseason, we talk about Jeff Okudah, Jesse Bates, Calais Campbell, Caden Ellis. I mean, he just added talent across the board on the defense. So when I look at it, this is why Bijan Robinson I'm leaning more and more towards that, because he needs that home run hitter in the backfield, and he doesn't have that. I mean, there's no knock to Tyler Algier,
right?
But what Arthur Smith he likes the home run hitter. He had that in Derrick Henry. So I think he's going to be looking to make that same type move this year.
Mm-hmm. Man, some pretty good statements there, man. And speaking on this Bijan Robinson thing, early in the show we stated, there's maybe a running back coming up available either during the draft or before the draft, and that's 27-year-old running back.
Ooh, boy, they ain't ready for that conversation.
Bro, boy. Dalvin Cook, oh my God. If he does get cut, should the Falcons entertain that? Bringing him in, offers the similar skill set that Bijan Robinson does. He's a home run hitter in his own right. I know the injuries have, gotten the best of him. I think last year he dealt with a shoulder, but he still rushed for over, I think, 1,100 yards still.
Yeah.
Still a highly productive running back, still 27 years of age. And this is a guy that can also, in this offense, do it all. The compensation is always going to be the questioning, but, there's some contracts that we have currently right now, 2 of our biggest ones that we can always tinker with, for more money. We can refinance on those things and get more money to go ahead and acquire the services. So Dalvin Cook to the Falcons has a nice little ring to it. Tyler Algier, Dalvin Cook.
That would not be a bad idea, and here's why. Because what I just said, they need their home run hitter. You talk
Yeah.
about Davin Cook, a guy that he hits the hole, he's gone. He's a great receiver out the backfield. But what would his number be if he gets cut? He's going to get paid this year's salary, which is about $13 million. So he could sign for the league minimum. I mean, the vet minimum. I'm sorry, the vet minimum, and still get about, I'd say about $2 to $3 million a year, and that would bring his salary up to about 15, 16 million. So if they want to go that route, I would understand it. And then if they go that route and
If they go,
they can get a guy like that, it's definitely going to be offensive line. But Davin Cook, man, I would definitely love to see that, man. And it's still in the realm of possibility because, like I said, he's going to get his salary from whenever they released him and whatever they owe him with the dead cap and the cap hit. So they got to pay him. So he's going to get his money regardless.
Yeah. And we see some people in the chat saying, Matt Bookie, thank you for tuning in. And this is absolutely, this is a definite concern. Past couple of years, he has banged up with some with some injuries and stuff like that. And that's always a concern. But we have a Tyler Algier here that can really spell it and reduce his carry. So it might work out to his advantage, man. It just might add a little bit more shelf life to him as a runner. So we understand the injury prone status on that. JDS says the same thing. Got to stay healthy. Yeah, man. It's just one of those things, man.
But what y'all got to realize, and I get got to stay healthy, and I agree with that. But you got to think, man, they're gonna have guys taking pressure off him. You have CP3, you have Tyler Algier. So he's not gonna be an every down back like he is in Minnesota right now.
He's not gonna.
So this is the same thing. What I'm saying about Bijan. He's going to be splitting carries between 3 running backs. And long term, CP, this may be his last year in Atlanta. Avery Williams, he might not even make it past training camp. Who knows?
Right.
Caleb Huntley, Achilles, will probably never be the same. Probably going to lose a step. He barely made the team last year and mainly came back because of injury. Yep. So there's really no long-term success or plan at running back. So this is why you're looking at a Dalvin Cook in free agency possibly, or you're looking at a Bijan Robinson or a Jamil Gibbs or a Tajay Spears in the draft. So as I look at it, man, long term, the Falcons still have a lot of questions to answer.
Man, we got a pretty good question right here, man. Creative Havoc, man. Thank you for the question, man. What would be your dream wide receiver prospect to draft?
Ooh, boy, that's a great one.
That's a good question, man.
Let's see. As I look at and I talk about going late day 2, early day 3 at wide receiver, I'm gonna go Tank Dell from Houston, and the reason why we talk about somebody in the short area, somebody who can run streams, hook routes, hook and ladders, and somebody that can take the top off the defense. He does all 3. He can beat you at every level. So my dream prospect would probably be Tank Dell, mainly because it would be a day 3 pick or a late day 2 pick that they can bring in right away. Somebody, that can make plays, and I think it bring them a great value and something they won't have to spend a lot of money on, and that would probably be mine.
Yeah, I would go with Ole Miss wide receiver Jonathan Mingo, man. And the more that I looked at him, man, wow, you gotta love the skill set. I think Arthur Smith can use him the same way that he used AJ Brown when he was in Tennessee. You're not going to offer the separation that you would want in a wide receiver, but he's a tough contested catcher, attacks the ball great at the point of attack, runs great routes. That's one thing that Jonathan Mingo offers. He runs, precise, quick routes, knows the whole route tree. So I think he'd be a perfect complement in this wide receiver wide receiver number 2 for our Atlanta Falcons, man. He could probably come in and spell Matt Collins from day one, man.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you talk about he's 6'2", about 2.
He's 220.
Man, That's Julio size.
That's Julio
So
size, man.
when you look
Next
at
year,
it,
this
man,
would be the dog right here, bro.
hey man,
Absolutely, man.
Marvin Harrison, I'm gonna tell y'all right now.
That's a top 3
Yeah,
pick.
y'all
year,
might not
man.
believe it, but Marvin Harrison Jr. is gonna be better than his daddy. And the reason why, if you look at his size, he's 6 foot 4 inches tall, 220 pounds. He's Marvin Harrison with the route running in the hands. And you add that, he has a Megatron type build. So Marvin Harrison in the right situation, oh, he gonna be a dog. Y'all think DJ Metcalf and Julio Jones, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Trust me. I think that guy is gonna be the one to break Julio's game record for receiving yards in the game. Yeah. Because as I look at Jackson Smith and Jigba, who they're, sliding up the board, who was this teammate.
Yep.
That dude was crisp route running, fire holes in his zone, but Marvin Harrison can do it all. Fire holes in his zone, beat you deep, jump contested catches. I mean, he looks just like a Madden created player on 99.
Yeah. He just makes the game look so easy, man. It's like everybody's trying to catch up to him, man. He's unbelievable. He's fun to watch. Very fun to watch.
If the Falcons can find a way to move up the board to go get that kid next year, I'm all for it. I trade my whole draft for it.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Smitty, I was just about to say, I was like, I would do a Julio-like trade to get him next year.
No doubt about it.
End up in the back of the draft next year, trade all the way up and go and grab him, man, because he's that type of talent, man. That type of talent.
Yeah. It'd be a Mike Dicker type trade with New Orleans back in the day for Ricky Williams. I'd do it.
God damn, minus the dress. But
oh man. But y'all know how we do it, man. We've made it through 30 minutes of the show. We gave y'all our thoughts on the need, the want, and the long term. And with coaching, with the front office, you always got to think long term, man. Yep. And we're gonna give y'all a chance to speak y'all mind. Yes, and before we do it, I'm gonna put the link in the description. Please, 2 to 3 minutes, because if you go past 3 minutes, it get out of hand. But Demetri Thomas, I want to thank you, man, for dropping that question the other day, man. That video did well, man, and I thank you for that. Tony Wright says, please, Smitty, don't say that. Don't say Mike Dicker type trade. I mean, I'm just saying, bro. Hey, Tony Wright, I'm just saying, bro. I mean, when you see a talent like Marvin Harrison Jr., Megatron, Randy Moss type receiver, I mean, you would give up the whole draft for that. I mean, I bet a lot of GMs still kicking themselves to this day for passing on Randy Moss. Let him get all the way down to number 21, and the Falcons probably one of those teams. But let me find the link. I'm going to put it in the description. We got a question, Alberto. Gentleman Journal, go and throw that up there right quick.
Yes, sir. I'm going to read it out. Question for y'all boys. What do y'all think about us trying to acquire Buda Baker from Arizona and pairing him with Jesse? Wow. Hey, man. Anything is possible. Us, to give the most, bland answer to that portion. But pairing him and Jesse Bates, man, that's a punishing secondary, man. That's in the true essence a no-fly zone, man, for us. Two tough-witted young safeties, man, pairing with one another, man. Sky's the limit for this pass rush more than anything. The winner in that situation would be the pass rush. I would love it, but I just don't know if Atlanta would want to, have two of the highest-paid safeties at this moment, knowing that, AJ Terrell is due up next. And we don't know what the status with Jeff Okudah is going to be past this season either. But in a perfect world, man, hell yeah.
Yeah, I would love it, man. But as I look at this salary, man, $13 million this year and $14 next year, we can't swing that. Yeah, we will have to trade Grady or Jake Matthews to make that deal happen. And still then, we would still have a lot of dead cap space because Jake Matthews' dead cap is $36 million, and that's a no-go.
And Dr. Ganja just kind of really pretty much answered what would be if it would happen. Richie Grant would, he'll play right in the nickel.
Switch over to nickel. Yep.
Switch over to nickel like he did as a rookie. So, man, oh, God, man. That would be awesome.
That would be dope. But money
Yes,
wise, now if he had brought that out, but it says that he requested a trade way back in February. But
yeah.
see what a lot of teams do, they don't let that information out because when a starter free agency comes, I mean they just don't want the problems.
Right.
But if I'm gonna be real, if this comes out before the start of free agency, I think he would be here instead of Jesse Bates.
Possibly, yeah. Oh man, Wallace Smith with another one. What do y'all think about the safety from Illinois, Sidney Brown?
I haven't done my research on him yet.
I did a little bit, and that's really credit to Let's Get a GA, or was it Giving Game Sports Talk. He's the one that put me on to Sidney Brown. Kid's a thumper, fast, physical. Still got to develop a little bit, but he's a dog, man. He's definitely a dog. I got to do a little bit more research on some of his game tape and stuff like that. But what I've seen thus far, very, very, very well, man. I think Ryan Nielsen can, make something out of him too, man.
I dropped the link in the chat, so if y'all want to come in and chat with us for a second, please go ahead and click that link, jump in and give your thoughts on what we've discussed, the need, the want, in the long term, and tell me what y'all think, man, because I really want to know what y'all think. I see y'all, writing in the comments, but I want you to say it with your chest.
Another great question, man, by Creative Havoc, man. Do you think the middle linebacker position will be added to before the draft?
That's a great question.
That is a great question. I think, me personally, I'd rather address that need in the draft. Trenton Simpson, Jack Campbell. I think those are two of the better linebackers there. The other kid? Noah Sewell. That's another kid maybe that could potentially come in and do and bring some noise. But me personally, I would wait until the draft and get one of those guys to come in.
And it's actually a guy that I was going to do a free agent profile on, but I kind of changed my mind because just like Alberto said, with those three names right there, I think they can get one of those guys in the second or the third round and fill that position. But as I look at it, Zach Cunningham, veteran middle linebacker, I think he would have been a nice, addition. He played in Tennessee, he played in Houston. He's had a solid career, but I would, wait till the draft, like he said, and fill that position. And as I said before, Dorian Etheridge.
Yes.
2 years ago, he made a solid impression on me. 13 tackles in the preseason game. He can run down here. Now he needs to work on his coverage still. But I think he'll be a nice pick. Dorian Etheridge. Oh yeah.
That's right. There it is.
Trust me, Miss Jackie, he'll be a nice addition. And he's already on the team. Now he's coming back from a torn ACL. How he would fare with that, I don't know. But I think he would, be a nice addition. But we got somebody in the chat. Somebody who's not scared to say it with their chest. That bookie he's been on since the beginning. So let's see what he has to say.
What's going on, man? What's going on, guys?
Everything is good. How are you, man?
All right.
Good to hear.
Okay, with the want, I feel like I would want us to get something like Jalen Carter if he was available, or another pass rusher. But I feel like since the whole free agency, they've been addressing the defense entirely. I can see them going maybe offensive line with the 8th pick. Because that's something we lack at and we need. So I can see them addressing the offensive line with the 8th pick instead of going defense, where we all want at least,
Agreed,
yeah. Any prospect in mind that you think at 8 for as far as offensive lineman that you would like to see?
I like that guy for Ohio State.
Paris Johnson?
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah. Big, tall, athletic kid, man.
I also heard they were saying something like he could play left tackle or something like that. So
he can play guard or tackle. Yeah, he can play both.
Yeah, so you could rotate him, probably put him left tackle, then put Matthews at guard or something like that as he get older.
You know, that's been a more common thing. I've been hearing that a lot. You know, and Jake Matthews, he's an athletic guy that could potentially slide inside. But at his age, 30 years of age, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. But it's a popular thing. A lot of folks have been saying that.
I think him being getting up in age, I think that would not be a good, thing for him. Because, as playing in the guard, you have to be a little bit more athletic than playing tackle. Tackle consists more of strength. Guard consists more of athleticism. And you see that with Chris Lindstrom. He's athletic and strong. So he has a perfect combination of size and power. So I could not, and I would have loved to see Jake Matthews move back to right tackle. But they re-signed Caitlin McGarrett, so that's out the question. But yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
You got another question for us before you get out of here?
Nah, that's all. I ain't gonna hold y'all up.
But I want to thank you for supporting us, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
And next time I try to be on time on live.
All right.
Cool.
You have a good one, man. Thank you, brother.
All right.
That bookie said that he like Paris Johnson, man. I like that pick, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, man, and it fits very well into possible. That could be the ultimate want. It could be the long term, because in essence, you get a guy like Paris Johnson, you might be getting a starter like a Jake Matthews who's almost been here 10 years. So it fits into the plans, man.
I'm gonna throw out a number that I did on a video earlier in the Bijan Robinson video. The Falcons ran the football 51% of the time. So why not improve your offensive line if you're not going to go Bijan Robinson? Make that the strength of your team. If running the football, the strength of your team, put size on the line. This is what made Dallas one of the best teams of the 90s. They control the clock. Because I'm going to be real with y'all, Troy Aikman was not the best quarterback. I mean, even though he gets a lot of love, he never threw the ball, not one season over 4,000 yards. Probably only one season over 60% passes. His completion percentage is like 58%, 57% for his career. So he wasn't a great quarterback. Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin put him on their shoulders. This is why he's in the Hall of Fame. And the reason why I say this, the Falcons are building that same type, blueprint. You build a strong offensive line like a Dallas had, and Dallas even a couple of years, about 3 or 4 years ago, they had an offensive line consisting of Tyron Smith, Lyle Collins, Zach Martin, and I think it was Doug Free. But they had one of the best offensive lines in the league. You see it with Philadelphia. That's what helped them to the Super Bowl this year. So offensive line is a must. And a lot of people don't like to talk about offensive line when they're at number 8. But when you have a strong offensive line, strong run game, controlling the clock, that's less stress on the defense. And guess what? If it's less stress on the defense, there's more pressure on their offense. So you just got to think about things like that, man.
Yeah. I like this one right here. They could go O-line at 44, and Cody Mouch could be that guy from North Dakota.
Hey, boy, like I said, man.
That kid is a mauler, man.
Man, with a grill like that.
Yeah, man.
And he smiled with confidence.
He sure does, man. Look, that dude got a hockey player.
Man, that dude got a gap by wide as Highway 85 all the way up from Atlanta all the way to Charlotte. But somebody with that kind of confidence, man, that dude, I mean, nimble feet, somebody his size, 6'4", 300 pounds. And Dr. Ganja, that's funny you said that. Yeah. Cody Mouch was a tight end when he got to North Dakota State. He was 6'5". I'm sorry, 6'4", 221 pounds as a tight end, and then he gradually, added weight and ended up being an offensive lineman. He played guard and he played tackle. So I guarantee you, he can spit a Coke can over one with a gap that big. That dude got a super soaker. But yeah, man. But we got somebody else in the chat, man.
Yes, sir.
Try to give us their quick thoughts. Our boy Aaron Dale, what's up?
Just got in here. Holy.
Yeah, man. Look at that. Red carpet for you, Mr. Aaron.
I mean, whatever. I'll take it.
There you go. What's happening, kid?
Not much. Just watching some Jake Bobo's highlights. right now. That's all I'm
As
done.
long as they watch them Atlanta Hawks highlights, go for it.
So what do you got for us?
What I got? Wants, needs, and then what's the other thing?
Long term.
Long term.
Dang. I think honestly the Falcons just set themselves up to just kind of look at the board, and whatever they got, they're just like, hey man, whatever. We'll take whatever we need at that position. So, I mean, I say the one is Bijan. Long term, I'd probably go with the right guard, and then just like the need. I mean, want, need, and then long term, yeah, I'd probably say, of course, want Bijan. Need is right guard, and then long term is right guard.
Left guard.
Or left guard, that's what I meant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's your long term? I'm sorry?
Left guard as well.
Okay. All right.
Any particular person you thinking about at the left guard position?
Left guard?
Yeah.
Let me think here for a minute. There's a guy I think I told you about him, Chandler Zavala from NC State.
NC State, yep.
Right.
That guy is actually, he's said I've seen interviews about him. He says he likes Atlanta's like offensive line coach. I forget what's his name.
Dwayne Ledford.
He likes him a lot because they're very similar to NC State. And this is a guy who was next to Ike Ekwonu. So those two next to each other, man. He learned a lot from Ike and stuff. But he's so damn good, man. That he's played. He says all over the field besides center, but he says I'm willing to try anything. And yeah, dude, he's a mauler. I mean, really.
And that's the type of attitude you have to have when you're an offensive lineman.
Yes, sir.
You, wherever they put you, that's where you play. Go back to Dallas again in the 90s. Larry Allen started off as a tackle, a right tackle, but ended up playing left guard and ended up being a Pro Bowler. And it probably helped him get into the Hall of Fame. We talk about a guy that was 6'3", 305 pounds, running like a running back because he would run all the way down the field, just to block. So I agree with that, man. Left guard, that's not a bad position.
No. I got two guys that I've been looking at, and they both come from Alabama. Tyler Steen and Emil Moyoker.
Oh, there you go.
Correctly.
There you go.
Yep.
Nice day 3
right
picks.
There, man.
Yeah, nice day 3 picks.
Yep.
Yep. And one of those guys is gonna be a starter. But here's a name that I put out there.
Joe Tippmann.
That's his guy.
Joe Tippmann. You talk about a guy, they run the same zone blocking scheme at Wisconsin. I think his name is Braylon Allen. He's going to probably be the top running back next year.
That's my guy, dude. I've been on him since high school.
You talk about Derrick Henry 2.0. That's the guy you're looking for. Braylon Allen, 6'2", 225. Woo, that dude can move.
There's a running back in this draft that runs similar to him, and that's Zach Chabarney from UCLA. Big, tall kid, 6'1".
Yeah,
200 plus pounds. Runs upright, man. He runs like Derrick Henry does. You know what I mean? So that would be another nice fit for the Falcons too.
Yeah, but Joe Tippmann, man, that dude 6'6", 320 pounds. You talk about him at left guard or center. Oh, you cooking with fish grease. So y'all, if they pick him on day 2, just don't be surprised. But Cody, I'm sorry. Aaron, you got another question for us before we get out of here?
No, I'm just gonna throw out a name that could be an option for the Falcons to go get, and that is I looked at him out. I just seen him do to Penn State. We watch Penn State up here in PA, man, a lot huge fans of them. But there's a guy who kind of really impressed me when I watched him play against Penn State was Pittsburgh running back Israel Ebukanda, and I don't know if you guys saw his pro day, but he freaking raised a lot of eyebrows with speed, his agility, and he's just a ridiculous athlete. And the way he runs, he's just damn aggressive, and he'll either run through you or run around one or the other. So I think I could be a late 4th, 5th round guy. You just go get him, and he should make plays for you. Just needs to work on his running style a bit. He's a bit choppy, just kind of, I don't know, not stable as a runner, but he just works on the balance and everything. He'll probably be a decent running back. So, but no,
I can see a guy like that on the Steelers though. I'd see him.
They love
staying
Pittsburgh,
home.
man.
And he played with a Pittsburgh quarterback, Kenny Pickett. They played together at Pittsburgh, so I can see him there. He could help him, transition to the next level. But that is a nice pick. I did see his pro day stats, and his stock did rise to probably the third round.
Jeez.
Definitely, man.
But as always, man, appreciate you for always supporting us, man.
Oh yeah, like always, man.
And going to head back to the chatting calls here.
Like always.
Be good, kid.
I'll go
No doubt.
Anthony Richardson as QB1 for us down there. See how many people throw haymakers at me.
I ain't trying to fight, man. Not today.
Oh shit, man. Y'all crazy, man.
Not today.
Well, our boy Winston Thornton in the chat, man. Steve Avila.
Hey, Winston, if you can get to the phone, man, go and jump in the chat.
Come on.
I know you always got something interesting to say.
I love this kid right here, man. Steven Avila, TCU, man. Played guard, played center. Didn't allow a sack last year as a guard.
Right.
Hey, what more can you want from a guard that doesn't allow a sack, bro?
Ain't nothing you can
shoot, you could just appreciate that, man.
Right. But yeah, man. But yeah, I mean, it's just gonna be interesting to see where they go from here, man.
Yeah.
And the closer we get, man, I just got a feeling it's gonna be a shocker to some folks. But I done covered every ground that I can cover, and I still may have a little bit of ways to go before we get to April 27th. But offense is starting to look that way because of what they've done. So offense is probably the way I'm gonna swing. If they go edge, I'm fine with that, but I still think they need help at guard, and I still think they need a running back. And I see people keep saying wide receiver, but there's no wide receiver this draft to me that screens number 2, or not even number 1. Because if I look at Jordan Addison from USC, I see Calvin Ridley 2.0. Smooth route runner, great hands, decent speed. But can he be a number 1 in the NFL? I don't think so. So, and something funny. I saw this the other day. Well, not the other day, yesterday, actually. Remember we were talking about Darnell Washington a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
Somebody else said the same thing that I said. They can see him down the road playing offensive line. So
good enough, man.
We'll see.
Definitely.
But I talked to the devil, and I'm gonna deal with it. My boy Winston, checking in.
What's going on, fella?
What's up,
What's
man?
going on? What's going on?
You got it?
Good.
Well, I came in late, so I ain't catch it everything.
Alberto, he'll straighten it up for you. Go ahead.
Yeah, man.
Alberto.
So tonight's topic was a need, a want, and a long term for the Falcons. What is your need? What is your want? And what is your long term for the Falcons?
A need is a number 2 receiver.
Okay.
But to me personally, I'm not picking a receiver before third round. I like Nathaniel Dell. Nathan Dell.
Tank Dell, yeah.
Yeah, Tank Dell.
Yeah. Because he give you that pop, but he's real smooth with his route. He got speed. That's what we need. We need something to offset. We got a whole bunch of Titans out there running receiver. We need something to offset it.
Yep.
So that's the need. Want, I want Bijan. Hey, look.
Hey, that's all right.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I've been pushing that and caught a whole lot of flack off of that in the Atlanta Burgang group, but I'm still gonna push it because if 3 quarterbacks go before in the top 7, that means the top 4 defenders gonna be gone. I mean Carter, Anderson.
Let me ask you something though, Winston, and this is why I stand at it, and this is why I agree with you. What is the Falcons long term at running back other than Tyler Algier?
Exactly, and Tyler Algier, I'm not wishing bad on him. I hope he have a long career, but his running style is contact first.
Yep.
How many running backs you seen run contact first and have long sustained career in this day and age.
Nah,
It ain't like
man.
the running backs this day and age is different than in the 90s and early 2000s. So I mean, he needs something. He needs somebody to help lighten the load. If you got Al just in the punch him 10 yard, 15 yard, breaking them down, then you slide Bijan in there, boom, he going for 60 yards.
Yep. Same thing I just said earlier. You gotta have that home run, hit that running back. And
Yeah.
Cordell Patterson, man, if he was 4 or 5 years younger, he could be that guy.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
outside of and I see somebody in the chat say Caleb Huntley, and I keep telling y'all, Achilles injuries could be career killers.
Man,
so long-term plan, Bijan is the long-term plan. You go get your running back this year and say 2-3 years down the road, you get an Arch Manning to go with that. Somebody he probably knows at Texas that he probably practiced with in the offseason. Come on, man. I can sit here and preach all day about this running back position. But Greg Elroy, I'm with you, dog.
Yeah, man.
Darnell Washington, I don't want Darnell Washington, man. Like I said, he's an offensive lineman, masquerading as a tight end. But
6'4", 6'5",
wow,
270.
Look at this.
No,
one
6'7".
right
He's 6'7".
He's 6'7".
Falcons trade with the Texans to take C.J. Stroud. Imagine that. Can you imagine that? I would be at Best Buy Friday morning buying a new fucking TV if that was the case.
Twitter would blow up. Everybody would sell their season tickets if that happens.
Lord. But in a crazy world like the NFL is, man, something like this, man, you just don't know, man. It could be possible, man. I mean, the Texans already have come out and said that it's really no lock for them to take a QB. So that kind of underline tells you that they're willing to offer that big as well. If they're not sold on a player at number 2, they might be interested in trading right out. So a team like Atlanta or a team like the Raiders that might want, somebody that they value at number 2 that's there, they might just go up and get them. But for me, if it was C.J. Stroud, I'd be like, God damn. I mean, like, if that was the case, we might as well have gone and attacked Baltimore to take Lamar Jackson, man. And
again, this is why that number 3 pick is the sweet spot. I've been saying that for the last 2 months. Arizona, they rebuilding. DeAndre Hopkins is likely gone. Butter Baker done asked for a trade, so they need an entire roster overhaul. So they're going to trade down no matter who it is and no matter how far, because they need the picks and they need the players. Yeah. So I mean, it's just that simple.
Got Jay Black 142. What's up, fam, man? Appreciate the question, Smitty and Berto. I read that Bijan doesn't have breakaway speed. I don't think that's true. What do y'all think? I don't think that's true either, man.
That's not true. 4.46.
Oh, man. Yeah.
That's not slow. I mean, anything sub 4.5, and you got to think about this too. 40s don't tell everything.
It's a game tape. You got to look at the game tape. That's where it's really at.
Right.
Like
40-yard dash speed and game speed is 2 different things, because Devin Hester's speed was about 4.47, 4.48, but game speed, when he found the hole and hit the hole, acceleration, when you have acceleration, speed don't mean nothing.
Yes, sir.
Brandon, I did drop the link. I drop it one more time.
Yep. Got to shout out our boys at One Time for the Fan. Bodie 3000, what's good, fam? Thanks for popping in, man. If y'all folks in the chat haven't had a chance to go see One Time for the Fan and what they do, man, please go.
Please go.
Every Sunday night at 8 o'clock, and I believe Wednesdays they're on also. Great content. Jack Spade, Bodie, Chase, man. Show them brothers some love. Hit them with a subscribe. Hit them with a like. Man, they put incredible work in. So shout out to One Time for the Fan, man. Thank y'all for tuning in with us tonight, man.
No doubt.
Oh, here we go. We got another one. I think he's on the. I just want to say, Bijan is a home run threat. He's swinging for the fences for a potential superstar drafting in the top 10. In my opinion, very valid. Bijan Robinson all the way for me.
And I'm gonna keep throwing this.
Yes, sir.
I'm keep throwing this example out there. Why do y'all have such a problem with Bijan, but then have a problem with Todd Gurley back in 2015?
Yeah,
exactly. Or Steven Jackson.
I just want to know. I mean, if y'all can tell me that, I'll leave it alone. But if y'all had a problem with Bijan right now, and he's a Todd Gurley type talent, because as I told y'all in the video I dropped earlier, Todd Gurley to me was a 2017 MVP. They gave it to a quarterback because it was a quarterback award.
It's a quarterback award.
But let's be real, Todd Gurley as a running back, to me, that was one of the best seasons I had saw in a while. Since I'm talking about Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith back in the day. And I seen Adrian Peterson 2,000 yard season. But to see Todd Gurley catching and running, I take that any day over AP, and I'm gonna be real with y'all.
Just gonna give a quick shout out, Smitty. I got
we going live on draft day. Go ahead, Alberto. Yeah, we definitely going live on draft day.
If you in the chat, DJ Stud 1987, appreciate the follow, man. Appreciate you very much, man. My goal is to get to 1,000, and with your subscription, I'm getting there a little bit quicker, man. So I appreciate for you taking out the time to subscribe to my channel, man. Thank you.
And if y'all haven't went to Alberto's 95 North Falcons Talk Show, the name is right there up under his picture. Please go subscribe to his channel, help him get to 1,000 views. 1,000 subs. If y'all mess with me, y'all know I rock with him the long way. We've been doing this for almost a year now. So please go support my boy, man. He does this thing every episode, and even outside of the 95 North show, he brings y'all top news, great stats. So please go show him some love.
Appreciate y'all.
But we got Coach in the chat, man. Let's see what he has to say. What's up, Coach?
Mike.
What's up? What's up, man? What's up?
What's up, Coach? How you doing tonight, man?
All right.
It's all G.
Cool.
So, need, want, and long term. Tell me what you want the Falcons to do on those three needs.
Okay. So, a need, you got to go with pass rush. We all know pass rush is a need.
And I know Brandon. Brandon, he gonna tell it like it is, but go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. So pass rush is a need. So you go Wilson. A want, you know who I want. I want Bijan. And long term, we gotta go with like a lineman. So let's go on and get that boy from Florida.
Man, that's a good one.
That's a plug and play day one. 6'6", man, 3 bills. That you ain't moving him in that guard position, man. You're not moving him. Oh my God!
Could you imagine him and Lindstrom in this? Boy, good God!
I'm telling you, man. I keep referring back to the. I mean, hey, listen, we all, we're not all Saints fans. I don't like the Saints, but I do like one thing that they had back in the day, and that was 2 elite guards. Carl Nicks and Jabari Evans were 2 of the best guards in football, man. And their running game was right up the middle, man. So if Atlanta could definitely mimic that, man, that would be amazing to watch. Cyrus Torrance and Chris Lindstrom, good God, man. I'm with you, bro. Boo Saints, I'm with you, man.
This is a record-setting night because there's somebody in the chat that we've been trying to get to come through forever. Ooh. But before we get to that, Georgia Bird says, do you think our Falcon could draft Joey Porter Jr.? It's a possibility if he's there in the second round, and to be honest, I think he's going to fall to the second round. I had him mocked at Pittsburgh, but since I've been watching, the quarterbacks move up the board, I think he's going to get pushed back a little bit. So I think he gets pushed back to the top of the second round. And I can see a team like Jacksonville because they still need quarterback help. But thank you, Georgia Bird, for that super chat. I can't do the big low, but trust me, thank you. Sure. We've been waiting for this time for, like I
Christmas
said,
has come
early. Our boy Tony Wright. He gonna jump in with us right quick.
You got him? I got him. There you go. Tony.
Well, what it is. How you doing, fellas?
How you doing, man?
That's why that storm passed through here last night.
Storm passed and it brought us Tony Wright. Or brought y'all Tony Wright.
Tony, what's up, man? Just talk to us, man. Need, want, long term.
We do not need Bijan Robinson, fellas. will have to give up too much draft capital to get him. We need to stand pat at 8 now. I say Tyree Wilson out of Texas Tech. If he's not
I would not be
available,
mad at that. I would
if
not be
he's
mad
not
at that.
available, go with Skoronski, because as you know, Skoronski played right tackle as a freshman, left guard as a sophomore when Rashard Slater was there.
Right.
Go with Skoronski or Paris Johnson. Now there's a report that Paris Johnson talked to some people, said that he would love to play for Atlanta and he's willing to move inside to left guard, which tells me he follows the Atlanta Falcons a little bit and he knows their history with Jake Matthews and all.
Right. Right. Agreed.
You
Long
know
term, what you looking at?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Long term. What do you think will help long term?
Long term, I think it all depends on what we get in the first round, because the first round is going to offset what we get in the second round.
Okay.
We need a receiver, and thank you for doing that vid about Corey Davis. The Jets
no doubt.
They have to let Corey Davis or Denzel Mims go. They're playing poker right now. They can't keep both of them with all those moves they made. And once they let one of them go, I even like Denzel Mims, the former second rounder out of Baylor. He can come right over to Atlanta, or Corey Davis can come right to Atlanta, and they would help us. But if we can't get a number 2, I would put Cordell Patterson back at that number 2 receiver and take that load off of him at running back, because quiet as is kept, the Falcons did private workouts with Ty J. Spears at Tulane and Keaton Mitchell at East Carolina. Don't be surprised if one of our 2 fourth-round picks, if we take one of those guys to offset and complement Tyler Algier. That's why we don't need Bijan Robinson. We need capital. We need players.
Okay. But you know they went out and trade for Bijan, though. They could just draft him.
And draft him at 8?
Yeah, they could just draft him at 8.
No. At 8?
I don't think he goes top 5.
If Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, and Anthony Richard go off the board in the top 7, Carter, Wilson, Anderson, Gonzalez is gonna be gone.
Yeah, they will.
Best player available is Bijan Robinson. When he's consensus top 5, and on some people draft board number 1.
Yeah, but that would offset what Tyler Algier did. Tyler Algier led the nation in rushing as a senior at BYU. 1,600 yards, and he had 24 touchdowns.
Absolutely.
But Tony, I'm gonna ask you like I asked everybody else. What is the Falcons' long-term plan at running back outside of this year?
Running back by committee, two running backs.
No, I'm saying you just see you made my point valid when you said 2-back system. But Caleb Huntley, we don't know how he's going to turn out. He barely made the team last year. Avery Williams, he's a returner. He could be a liability. Cordell Patterson is almost 32 years old, and we see him run out of gas the last 2 years. So why not bring in a home run hitter to offset this run game and extend Cordell Patterson into another role, kick return, like you said, wide receiver. Avery Williams, keep him on special teams. And Caleb Huntley, he's just what he is. So why not?
Let's say we draft Bijan Robinson. What about our left guard situation?
Cody Mount in the second round. We talked about it already.
Steve Avila, second round. TCU.
Joe Tipman, day 2.
Yeah, that Cody Mott guy's good. He's good also, and he can play multiple positions.
He sure can.
Right.
I hope we can get Tipman. Tipman may be gone. We picked 12th, 13th in the second round. He may be gone.
44.
Number 12. Yeah, number 12.
Yeah, Tipman, I like him also. I like how he gets to that second level, man. He just mauls people.
Man. Absolutely.
But see, and this is what I like about this draft, man. It's just so much depth at every position that certain players you can, think about reaching for. Because at certain positions, man, it's so deep and adds depth to a lot of teams. A lot of teams are going to move up and down the board to get the players that they want and not necessarily what they need. And this is why, another reason why Robinson, to me, at number 8, it just makes so much sense. Because every other position the Falcons need is deep in this draft. Cornerback, offensive line, running back is deep in this draft, and receiver. So I mean, come on, you got to take a chance at some point. If we didn't take a chance on a superstar quarterback, why not take a chance on a superstar type running back? That's all I'm saying.
And I'm gonna give you another sleeper player for us on the offensive line.
Do you think?
We can draft him and let him rehab a year. And Alberto, you like this kid. Andrew Voorhees out of UFC. Draft the kid because he's gonna be a late round pick. Draft him in the fifth, sixth round. Let him rehab all of 2023 and have him ready for 2024.
Ready to roll. Hell
yes, sir.
I'm with
that dude is nasty. Man. That dude
yes,
be pancaking people. Go look at the tape.
Yep.
Yeah,
that would have been consensus guard number one if he wasn't hurt. He would.
Yes,
sir.
I see Quentin Nelson. I see Quentin Nelson in that kid, man, all day long.
Yeah. So you saw the film on him. Yeah. I got a question for you guys. What is the deal with the kid we drafted out of Georgia last year in the 6th round?
Justin Shaffer.
Yeah,
because y'all remember Sawyer that played next to him, left tackle at Georgia?
Yeah, started with the Chargers last year.
He balled out for the Chargers last year when Slater went down and played the whole entire season.
Yeah.
How come Schaefer can't do that?
Well, that lets you know he carried Schaefer at Georgia. That's all
he did. Yep.
that's the only logical answer. Logical answer.
And the thing is, we could have took Sawyer. We took Schaefer at pick 190 in the 6th, and Sawyer went to the Chargers at 195 in the 6th. We picked the wrong guy.
Yeah, we did, man.
Man.
Sawyer balled out.
Yeah, sometimes tape a lot too.
That's
sometimes.
But I do like Tipman,
they don't tell you
I like
that part, but will I?
I have a 3rd or 4th round grade on Tipman, but somehow I think he's going to go in the 2nd round.
Yeah, somebody.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Because
some needy team is going to take him. Absolutely, man.
I have another sleeper for you guys real quick. I know you got other callers. Smitty, Alberto.
No problem.
This kid out of Texas, if we're thinking about getting an inside linebacker for future reference,
Overshadow. Yeah.
He just needs to put on 10 pounds. That dude's a monster.
He need to put on some more bulk. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sideline to sideline.
He can get from sideline to sideline like Dick Buckers.
Yep.
He just needs more weight.
And that's why I said linebacker is a position they should fill in the draft. They don't need to do that in free agency. They can sign a guy in the draft day 3 and pay him the next 4 years at about $3 or $4 million, and they sit.
Yep. He could come in and challenge Michael Walker, because right now Walker's penciled right next to Troy Anderson, and Michael Walker needs some fire lit under his ass after he regressed last year. So bringing a kid like that would play major dividends, man. So yeah, man,
sure,
I wouldn't be upset at that at all.
And I have one last question for you guys, for you gentlemen. With the signing of Bud Dupree, which was an excellent signing, and I did not see that coming. Thank you, Mr. Terrence Mathis, because he reported that first. Now we got a nice rotation of Bud Dupree. We got Arnold Ebiketie, Lorenzo Carter, and D'Angelo Malone. That is a nice 4-guy rotation at the outside linebacker position. Looks like Obendeji is going to be ass out.
Yeah, I said that earlier.
He going to the bench. He going to the bench, man. I tell you.
Yeah.
He should have been on the bench last season.
Good.
Yeah, he's been kind of disappointing.
Right during the draft, if Atlanta feels Froggy wants to leap up, they could dangle him in a pick and move up too. So, all those signings,
that's
he
true.
Might be expendable.
Because he's a young kid, we probably can get something for him. If we can get a 6th round pick for him, 5th round pick, that's good. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I know you got other callers. It's been a pleasure. This was the last time.
Tony.
From me. Yes, sir.
Tony, I got. Thank you for finally coming on, bro.
Absolutely.
You've been supporting me for God knows how long, and I thank you, man.
Yeah, well, that's because, come on more often.
Well, and I will. I'm just a hardworking man, and that's because Smitty.
Oh, never wrong with that. Never wrong with
that. You guys were first class live streams, and not all Falcon live streams are first class, if you know what I mean. So I'm not even gonna go there. I've unsubscribed to that. And
got you, man.
It's been a pleasure finally speaking with you, brothers.
Only thing I got to say is, Tony, only thing I got to say is that's why they call me Superhero Smitty now.
Yes, sir. And one more thing. Don't let Big Low fool you. Big Low's in that Freaknik video, too, that's coming out. Big Low gets around, man.
Oh,
He gets
shit,
around.
man. Big Low gets down, bro.
That's right. Oh, and right
Lord.
now, Big Low's in New York on business with Julio and Julio's crew. They're doing some type of business meetings and what have you. But what I want to know is, what the hell were they doing over in Persia doing business? Persia? Come on, that's kind of a red flag.
Oh, shit, man. Oh, man. Oh,
Maybe
man.
you can ask Big Low the next time you see him.
I got to call him
phone
ask
call
about
after
that.
this. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, he finna get that call.
Over in the Persian Gulf, him and Julio should be over in Persia. Don't you know the FBI watching?
Oh shit, man. Damn, Lo, you watching? You getting aired out right now, bro.
Oh man. Well, y'all out of control, boy.
Oh man.
But fellas, it's been a pleasure, and I can't wait for the next live stream. And we're gonna continue to do this homework. It's less than 2 weeks to draft day, and I can't wait.
Man, I can't wait.
No doubt, Tony. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks,
I appreciate you guys. God bless.
Night,
Likewise.
All right, bro.
That's our boy Tony Wright, man. Oh boy, he keep the jokes. But Miss B, what's going on?
We got this one right here for you. Oh no, oh damn, no sleep Smitty. Shot about to pop up.
Showing the guns.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Smitty
man.
Belichick.
Hey, where my hoodie at?
Oh Lord. But yeah, man.
Raymond Collins, he got the donuts. What's up, man?
Oh, he already knows what the vibes are, man. Jesus Lord.
Miss B,
Can't go nowhere without one of them.
Miss B, come on and join us right quick. I'm gonna drop the link so you can jump in right quick.
Yeah.
Hey, I got another sleeper linebacker for y'all.
What
Do you think?
That boy D Winter out of TCU converted safety to linebacker.
Yep.
Yeah. He showed out.
Brandon threw out a good one too, man. Drew Summers. A lot of people not talking about him, but that dude, he's a TJ Watt type talent.
Drew could be that late first, early second, so that could be a move.
Yeah,
it all depends on what we do at 8, man. Everything will fall in line after that pick is made.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like I said, man, I'm steady improving around really, man. I'm gonna give him a left guard to block for him to keep him upright, or I'm gonna go running back the home run here to take some pressure off my quarterback shoulders. So offense is gonna be my pick at number 8, no matter if it's offensive line, running back, not wide receiver, because wide receiver can wait. But those two positions, I'm gonna flip flop, those two positions for the next 2 weeks. So that's just how it's gonna go, man.
Yeah.
Just how it's gonna go.
I'm going running back, man. You go running back, you said?
Yeah, I'm going running back. You think about last time we went to the Super Bowl, we had 2 dynamic running backs.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Tico and
Freeman. Yep.
Yeah, like it doesn't make too much sense. Especially you got a young quarterback that's barely got his feet wet. The best thing to help a young quarterback is a tight end and a running game. Accentuate both of them. You got Kyle Pitts.
That is true.
Strength in the strength. Mm-hmm. Go with the running back.
Who do we take second and third round?
Oh man, there's a lot of names, Smitty. In the second
I'm gonna switch
round.
it. Y'all know where I'm going with this. Mm-hmm. If they trade back and can get an offensive lineman of their liking, say like if they trade back to 12 or 13 to their sweet spot that I talked about, if they can get a Skarunsky or a Broderick Jones or a Paris Johnson when they move back, I use one of those extra picks that I get, and I said this in our first mock draft. BJ Ojolari would be my pick as a mover. You talk about a guy that's a speed rusher, just go look at his film. A guy, now he needs to work on buck and setting the edge, but as far as speed, pursuit, he's one of the best in the draft. So second round, BJ Ojolari or Jamil Gibbs or somebody of that nature. In third round, if he's there, I'm again Joe Tipman is an offensive lineman that can come in also, and Rick Hill. But that's only if we don't take an offensive lineman and take Bijan Robinson early. But Joe Tillman is, my day 2 guy, round 3 guy.
Round 3. I say round 2. Look at guys like Will McDonald, Tuli Tuiauputipu from USC, Adetomiwa Adibare. That's another guy.
Man, you done mastered them damn names, man. God
shooting up draft boards, man. So in the second round, there's a trio of guys if they're there. Definitely the Falcons could definitely take one of them. Round 3, Tajay Spears maybe could be a possibility if he's still around. Cedric Tillman from Tennessee, Jalen Hyatt, also the 2 wide receivers that seem to be gaining some steam. So those are possibilities.
Yeah,
so that's what that'd be for me.
Yeah, Winston, what you think, man? Second and third round, give me your best shot.
Are we staying still at 8? We moving back?
That depends on what you pick. I mean, if you, like I said earlier, if I move back and the offensive lineman is there, I'm moving back up to take an edge rusher in the second round. So it just depends on all of them what you think they will do.
Well, I mean, either way, like if you move back to anywhere to 12 to 16, I'm still going Bijan. So after that, probably BJ Ojolari or Adibare. I don't know if Weston.
Hey man, I love that pick, man. Alberto convinced me with that pick, man. Adibare. I think he's gonna sneak into the first round. Yeah, I don't think to be honest, as much help as Chris Jones needs in Kansas City, I don't see him falling past Kansas City.
Yeah. That's a great spot.
They need an edge.
Right.
Or Derek Hall in the second round. Then third round, I probably Tank Dell or that's a tough one.
Yeah, I like Tank Dell, man. That dude, man.
That's probably my pick. Tank Dell in the third. Get that speed out there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cornerback can still be a thing, man. Cornerback can still be a popular thing in the second round. This or third round. There's a lot of guys out there, man.
You know what? Like Garrett Williams.
Out of Syracuse. Right. Out of Syracuse. Yeah, you know.
That dude a beast, man.
Right, here we go. We just talked about him earlier in the show, man. Jonathan Mingo. Guy does a lot of things right. The only thing he doesn't have is that separation. But when it comes to catching the ball, man, contested, proven catcher, runs unbelievable routes, man. Sets up the cornerbacks really, really well. The tape is out, man. I think Arthur Smith can use this kid just like he did AJ Brown in Tennessee, man. So
agreed.
And his name is popular. He's moving up to draft boards too, man.
Agreed. Seba Brown said we're not talking about linebackers, but outside of Trenton Simpson and Jack Campbell, which is probably going to be the first 2 linebackers taken. Right. So you have to get one of those guys, and they will be second round picks. I think Simpson may move up to the first, depending on who takes him, because I could actually see him in Seattle or Chicago. But linebacker is not deep in this draft at all. And like I said, if they can find a guy as an undrafted free agent or bring in a veteran after the draft, I can see that. But Jack Campbell and Trenton Simpson are really, to me, the only starting caliber linebackers. And Drew Sanders only the starting caliber linebackers in the draft. Those are my top 3.
I got a sleeper for y'all at linebacker, man. This kid reminds me so much of Foye Oluokun. His name is Yasir Abdullah from Louisville. Same size and makeup as Foye. He's gonna go in that 5th to 6th round range. And hell, man, what are the Falcons known best for? Grabbing them gems in the 5th to 6th. Truth be told, didn't we get Foye in the 7th round? So a guy like that, man, I think he's give him some time. He could make some noise right next to Troy Anderson.
And Foye was a safety in college. Don't forget that.
Yeah, right.
And there's another guy. There's another guy in this draft that could do the same. That's J.L. Skinner from Boise State. He's a safety in this draft, but he could move up to linebacker because he's really a box safety that's very good against the run. So I can see him, as a late day 3 pick if he does not get taken on day 2. So that's another one to look out for.
Yeah. Oh, man, Dr. Ganja's all over it tonight, man. Yes, see a dude can rush the passer, too. Yes, he can. And he's going to be similar to an else,
And what do you properly? Absolutely. Versatility.
Yeah. Yep.
But, man, this has been a great show, man. We got about 4 minutes of some change left. We've been on almost an hour and a half. If y'all got any more questions to throw our way, please go ahead and throw them in the chat. We can answer them right quick. And then we're going to roll on up out of here, man.
Yes, sir.
What they got.
But, man, this has been a great show, man. I just want to thank y'all for always, supporting me. As I always tell y'all, please go in the description section. Anybody that rock with us and support us on the daily, and there's one more link I got to start throwing in there is one time for the fan. So, Ms. B says she's coming, so come on in, Ms. B, before we get out of here. But one time for the fan, y'all, please go support them. Atlanta, Georgia faithful. My boy DC. He's redone his channel, man. It looks awesome. He has one of the best intros in the game. Out of Your Falcon Mind podcast, Big Low Country Sports. My boy 95 North Falcons Talk Show, my boy Big Birdo. Damon Deuce, one of our special guests who always jumps in. And we can't forget our boy Uncle Steve. Uncle Steve sets the tempo for this for our circle because he always comes up with great ideas and he's not scared to speak his mind. So I guess that's why we get along.
I like this one. I'm going A.
Go with
it. A all the way. Great on this offseason so far. It's got to be an A, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get an A minus, and the reason why I say minus is because a couple of the people we signed are a little bit up in age, but I still think they'll make a legit impact.
And I'm gonna go with an A. It's been very solid. We pretty much addressed everything that we needed to address.
Right.
And production will be at a premium next season. So I was shaky on it, but hey, TF been cooking, man. I gotta give it to him. He get an A.
Yeah.
And one thing that I love about it, is it has given us a wide open space to look at when you talk about the draft. What they've picked up in the offseason, they can go any direction in the draft and it won't hurt them. You don't see that too often. So that is one reason why I like what they've done. We got a special guest in the house. Coach Bridget finna stop by and talk to us right quick.
Hello, y'all.
Hey, how you doing?
Need, want, and long term. Tell us what you think right quick.
No, I don't know about all that. I mean, I'll try to answer the question because I don't look at draft. I was listening to y'all on that stuff. But you said need, want.
I simplify for you. Hold on, I simplify for you. Tell me what you think the Falcons should look for in this draft.
About a wide receiver too. I think a wide receiver too.
Wide receiver too.
Yeah.
All right. Can't be mad at that, man.
Huh?
Can't be mad at that.
No. That's what they need. What I want is Anthony Richardson.
What?
Oh man!
God
hey,
damn,
She shot for the moon for that one.
I think that Storm coming back because as much as As much as we talked about Desmond Ritter and she knocked my head in about it, she said Anthony Richardson. So I think Alberto, it might be a snowstorm coming your way. You better look out, bro.
I'm gonna look. I'm starting tonight. God, really?
But give us your quick take on why you want Anthony Richardson.
Well, because I think that a lot of times with the draft, when they hype, to me, the ones that they hype up be the ones that fail or that don't do good. So I think all the knocks against him, I don't know. I just see him that he might be good. I think, and I'm kind of scared for Carolina to get him, and then like in a couple years he'd be looking crazy because he might turn into this superstar. I don't know. Maybe not, but that's just my opinion.
And you know what? I can see that because as I said already, man, with Anthony Richardson, if he lands in the right system, someone that can unlock his talents, man, because the way I see him sling the football flat-footed 70 yards, not too many people can do that. And they compare him to a Cam Newton. Now, Cam Newton didn't have the best throwing motion. He didn't, complete a lot of passes, but he ran the football well. He made plays. And Arthur Smith's system, running the football is important. And you can get a quarterback that can move with his legs too. I would not be mad at that. I would not be mad at that.
Got some love there with that one. That Booker, he agrees with you. Yeah.
Okay. That's my hot take. So.
No, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hey, man, go ahead.
Oh, no. I was going to say, the Bijan Robinson thing, I'm not all the way for that, but I wouldn't be mad if they did do that, though.
But hey, I broke it down for you.
Yeah,
I don't think it's
possible. Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, I think he'll make the offense better. I think it does need some work, so I'm not totally against it, but it's not my number one choice, though.
Like I said, if you're going to, leave Desmond Ritter isn't as the starter, you got to put weapons around him to make him, succeed. So, I mean, so I'm thinking all around the board. And I understand wide receiver, like you said, but that's something that we can address, later in the draft. Or we could, and people forget, the Bernhardt kid is still on the roster. He didn't get a shot last year. If he can get a shot this year and come through, that's a gem that they found in the draft.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hey, it's just one way to look at it.
Yeah, that's true.
But Tony Wright says he don't agree with you. He says too many red flags. 1 year starting college, completion percentage 54%. For his collegiate career, his completion percentage was 53.8 last year. So in so many words, he's saying he can't hit the side of a barn with a bar of soap.
Well, maybe right now, but in 2 years, a year, he can improve.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't understand what Anthony Richardson. The boy's still young.
Yeah,
he ain't number 20.
Right.
What's messing with him is his feet. His feet is what making him interact. So as soon as somebody teach him how to really set his feet and throw, his accuracy will go up.
Right.
Then he got all the physical tools in the world.
Right.
Agreed.
So
man, there's an right there exactly. Wow.
Miss Lisa Shepard, always on her duty, man. She said this came up in the Falcons group. So I will pose this topic here. Is there any concern on how the Falcons are building this team, running the ball, while others are airing it out? Do y'all care? I let y'all start off and I finish it off.
Man,
I feel like we like the Tennessee Titans 2.0. Like they were good, they made the playoffs or whatever. They just couldn't get over that hump. They had Derrick Henry and stuff like that. Tannehill, slightly average quarterback. To me, that's what I feel like he trying to build us to be something like the Titans. But I think they need to do something though for real with that passing game because it's pretty pedestrian. So
can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Next.
I don't have any concerns, man. I don't have any concerns how they building this team, man. Not one bit, bro. I love it. Did I cut somebody off?
boy, your face, your facial expression. Well, you like, all right, I don't care. Winston, go ahead, man. Winston, go ahead.
Yeah, Winston, go ahead, bro.
The way they building the team, I don't have concerns with it, but I am concerned with the passing game because eventually you're gonna have to be able to pass the ball. You have to have teams to respect your passing game as much as they respect. Well, not as much, but at least enough where I don't have to worry about y'all passing to the third down. No, I need you to respect my passing game on the first, second, and third, so then I can open up my whole playbook.
Agreed.
And like we can run the ball forever, and it's gonna take us to a certain point, but eventually we're gonna hit the brick wall, and we're gonna be able to get over. Same thing that happened with Tennessee. They couldn't pass the ball when they needed to pass the ball.
That's true. But I'm gonna end it like this and finish it like this. It doesn't concern me at all. The only thing that I want them to do at the end of the day and the end game goal is to build this team the right way, and I think they're doing that. As far as running the ball, if that's going to be their strength, they have to put a quarterback that's competent in the pocket to make the plays when plays are necessary. We saw it last year with Mariota, the clutch throws. He was throwing the ball 5-6 feet over the receiver, throwing it at their big toe. I mean, some clutch plays, it just blew my mind that he couldn't make those throws after all these years in the NFL. So what they have to do now, build his offense to Riddle's strengths, not his weaknesses, build a run game that can take some pressure off his shoulders. And I think they win. And add another offensive lineman, like I said, to take this offensive line to the next level, because you just plug in a plug and play guy, the line won't skip a beat. So I love what they're doing. I'm not scared. And I just want them to just finish it off the right way in the draft. And that's all you can ask.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
totally agree,
again, man, this has been a great show, man. Like I said, went off 7 minutes ago, but the conversation got deep. Miss B had to come in right quick before she strangled me. But as I always tell y'all, man, thank y'all for always supporting your boy, me, Alberto. Winston, you can catch him on the Atlanta Bird Game on Facebook.
Yes,
he always supports me over there as well. Always comments, always shares my videos. Ms. B always supports me, informs me, and I thank her for that as well. My boy Alberto,
yo,
I'm gonna let you go on and take it out, man, because I'm gassed.
You gassed? So after those goddamn comments, you should be. After all this Bijan talk, you should be.
Hey.
No, but hey, look, man, if this is not a scheduled show, it's a pop-up show, and we always garner the attention of everybody out there. So we wholeheartedly thank everybody for always tuning in and supporting us. The chat reached up to almost 110 at one point, man. Amazing. We appreciate you guys taking some time, to come and chop it up with us. Winston, Ms. Bridget, thank you all for taking the time to, chop it up with us. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for coming through and dropping y'all, concerns, your comments, your questions, your everything. We truly appreciate it, man, from the bottom of our hearts, man, for sure. Try to be the best show that we possibly can, pushing that positivity and that good Falcon content talk. And we'll leave it at that.
Before we get out of here,
yes, sir.
I want to thank Tony Wright, man. I just can't say that enough. This dude has been supporting me for years, and I've been trying to get him to come on, man. But finally, he came through. Say he's going to come through a little bit more, and I'm gonna hold him to that. But Alberto going to finish your thing.
Yeah, man. So with that, man, we will holler at you on the next show. It's gonna come sometime this week. Just wait for that notification. Once you hear that notification go off, we coming on live. There's something going on through in here that we got to share with y'all. So on that note, continue to enjoy your Saturday evening. Everybody in the chat, Winston, Bridget,
Yeah.
Continue enjoying your Saturday night, Smitty.
All right.
We will holler at y'all the next time, everybody. On that note, peace.
Peace.
Good night.
Hey, y'all. Be safe out there.